Hello everyone and welcome back to the F1 2009 My Team Career Mode on F1 2020. It's been a minute, but we're back and we are here for the halfway point of the season, round 8 of 16, and we are here for what I believe is the final Joker round of the season at the Austrian Grand Prix, which of course was not on the 2009 calendar. Now guys, if you haven't seen the previous episode, go check it out, the Canadian Grand Prix, link in the top right. Spoiler warning is ahead, so this is your chance to go click off the video now and go see what happened in the last one. So here we are then, a new episode is upon us and we have activities on the agenda. Quite a big gap between the last race and this one, which gives us a chance to get a lot of these activities done and prepared for the team. We also are going to go ahead and purchase a big third secondary sponsor, which hopefully will give us even more cash flow and really help us develop the car even more. Now, I had a bit of a look at the options and I wanted something safe, guaranteed money. HP Invent is going to be the easiest goal of these, with a decent weekly income and a decent goal bonus, which is going to be 1 point per race weekend, which so far has been the case in every single race this season, so that is pretty much guaranteed money. Now with that done, we're going to go into upgrades, and we had a failure on the roll dampers, so we're going to have to repurchase those and get them back on the car to improve our tyre wear. Also, I had a look at the powertrain to try and improve the KERS on the stators, but we don't quite have enough R&D points, so we're going to have to wait a little bit longer to get the upgrade on the car. Now then, Austria, Spielberg, the A1 ring, of course, back in the early 2000s, and we're going to hopefully have a fun weekend. I wasn't given a weather forecast, but look at the race. We have rain forecast. How much? I don't know, but we have rain. I don't know if it's going to be the whole race or just a little bit. Who knows? I'm going to approach it like a normal race weekend. Hopefully it's not too extreme and hopefully we can manage it. As for upgrades, you can see we do have a minor one on the car this weekend for the roll dampers, also a small supplier upgrade for a bit more engine power from Cosworth, but besides that, not a massive improvement. Braun bringing a pretty big package, and also Force India as we finish practice, got a decent amount of R&D points, taking our total beyond 1,000, and hopefully we'll add some more to that between qualifying and the race, and we can start to make some inroads, because we recently upgraded our specs to level 2 fabrication to hopefully, you know, put on some major upgrades and make some big developments, and I want to try and get those on ASAP. So hopefully by the next episode we'll have the new sponsor HP on the car, and also we'll have, you know, some big major upgrades on the way very soon. So with that done, into qualifying then we go to start off round number 8 of the season at Austria, and we're looking to try and hopefully have a decent weekend. The AI is set to 100, so the same as Canada, I believe, in qualifying, so we're going to keep the same difficulty. We had a bit of a moment through turn 1, bit of a correction and some oversteer as we now head through the final couple of corners here. Closing out our first time lap, we run outside the white line but didn't get penalised by the game for track limits, so we're going to cross the line and set a 1 minute 7.3, only P9 behind Paul di Resta, which was a bit of a concern. So yeah, we're going to try and improve again as we go for our second run or second attempt in this qualifying session, and straight away we're going to clean up that mistake through turn 1, which already gives us pretty much 4/10 of a second heading up towards turn number 3. So already a good start to the lap. In the first sector split we are up by a fraction on Heikki Kovalainen, making our way through the hairpin, trying to make up for lost time. We find even more time as we're now over 6/10 up out of turn 3, and by the end of the lap we was up by 8/10 of a second, so a massive improvement here, which is going to jump us up to P10, and that is not too shabby, to be fair. 1 minute 6.4, and we improved by a pretty significant margin. Now heading on to our final run, our final attempt, we don't really have any more, you know, I'd say mistakes to correct. It's basically just trying to refine and, you know, iron out the lap and get it as good as possible. So we're going to send it, pretty much give it everything and leave nothing on the table. So far, Sector 1 is going to be essentially a carbon copy. We do improve by a fraction, getting a better exit out of turn 1, but it's going to be a very small improvement. On the brakes now, at about 60 meters before turn 3, locking the right front, but we do get a nice bit of cornering speed and crucially a good exit, and we're going to get a slight toe from Bourdais, which is going to give us a bit more lap time, and we're up 2/10 heading down to turn 4. on the anchors, locking the left front again, or the right front, but not a big issue. We can keep it under control, and we get a really good exit, and we find even more time as we now head into the double left-hander here, closing out sector 2 and starting sector number 3. We go purple in the second split, so we are looking very good as we just keep it in track limits through the exit there. Now making our way into turns 9 and 10, the final 2 corners, just trying to tap the inside curb here. We have a bit of rear end instability. Through the final corner, we get a brilliant exit, and again, no track limits by the game, so we're going to take it in our stride, and we go P5, which is a massive lap time and one of our best qualifyings of the season. Eventually, we finish in P6, 7.5 tenths off pole in Timo Glock, and it's an all Toyota front row lockout. But wow, what a performance. Really good lap, and that was one of the laps of the season so far. Qualifying has not been great for us, so this is a really nice moment. Guys, we're going to try and take this into the race. Again, we have that rain, which I don't know how it's going to affect things, but either way, Toyota, front row lockout, both of our rivals in the top 2. We're going to have to fight back in the race and try to match them. So guys, qualifying done, let's get into the main event.
Good afternoon and welcome to Spielberg, and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship, except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. It's a short lap here in Spielberg with just 10 corners, 7 rights and 3 lefts, making up the total distance of 2.6 miles. And expect to see a lot of cars running wide today, especially through the last corner, as the wet conditions make the cars skittish through the downhill sections. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Let's talk about Martinez. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
They've been avoiding mistakes and have had solid pace, so it's been a good season so far, but whether they can keep that up long term remains to be seen.
Now, to be fair, this should be an interesting one. We have a hell of a lot of rain. I'm talking pouring down. Of course, we didn't have the forecast, so we had no idea what to expect, but this looks very wet, and it's going to be all race long. Fuel wise, I'm going to go for 36 laps on the nose, no more no less. I don't really know what fuel burns like in the wet with this, especially heavy rain. We've not had full wet running yet, so I'm just kind of guessing, so I'm not going to go too out there or too aggressive. I want to keep it somewhat safe. So yeah, really no predictions. We've got a decent starting position, but that's about it. Hopefully our pace is decent, and hopefully at the end of 36 laps we have another decent batch of points. But yeah, Toyota's 1-2. We've got to try and beat them somehow. So let's get into it and let's send it. Oh my god, it's absolutely pouring down.
Heavy rain will be staying with us for a while now, at least a 20-minute window of heavy rain. Full wets seem to be the fastest tyre for now.
Well, let's see how this all pans out. This should be really interesting. Well, here we go. Let's see what happens. I have no prediction whatsoever. Oh, there we go. And it's an absolutely horrible start. Just couldn't get any traction down there. Into turn 1. Easy does it. JB on our outside. Already down a P8. Not exactly ideal as we now race up towards turn 3. Nakajima on the inside. We're going to go in the middle here of the sandwich. Yellow flag. Oh, the back end is not cooperating. I think we're going to really struggle on traction. Button holds on and Nakajima goes up the inside. I think setting the AI to 105 for a wet race may be an issue. We are dropping like a stone here. We're going to fight back and get back in front of Felipe Massa for now. But this is going to be a long 36 laps if this is what's in store for us. Oh my god. That tyre wear is going to be an issue. We are meant to one stop. I don't know if that's going to happen with this tyre wear. Wow, we are burning up the rears every single time. So this is going to be difficult. Maybe we can challenge Nakajima here. We are quicker than him. I'm trying to be very patient with my throttle application if we want to try and save the rears. Might try and see if I can use lean mix on just traction zones. But yeah, I'm no match. I'm not too bad pace-wise, but I've got no chance of overtaking in traction zones. So we're going to have to try and send it in a corner or something. Oh, good exit out the final corner. Going to try and go down the inside of turn 1. Nakajima moves a little bit in the braking zone, but we're going to go through. Getting the traction on gradually, and we make the move. So P8, we regain a place. Let's see now if we can try and have some decent pace to try and catch back up to the cars ahead in some clean air and try and find a bit of a rhythm to settle into in these conditions. The Toyotas are already flying off out front. Okay, we're starting to make progress. We're starting to find our rhythm now in these conditions. Last lap I went purple in sector 3, setting a new personal best by 0.6 in clean air. And now we're half a second up on this lap, so we're looking pretty decent here. And we're pulling away from Massa, and we're closing in on the cars ahead. My tyre wear is still pretty high, as you can see, but the fronts are starting to wear out, and we're kind of keeping them somewhat balanced, which is an important thing. So let's stick with it. Showing signs of improvement. We'll see how long it lasts. Let's try and also hold on to these tyres for at least another, I'd like 10 laps. We can maybe then still stretch a 1 stop, but that's a long way to go on these tyres. Another purple sector 3. We are very strong through there, and we're now on the back of JB, so we're back with him after he overtook us at the start of the race. Also behind Robert Kubica. Let's try and figure out a way to get past them. So purple middle sector, and now we are tucked in behind Button. Exit there, let me down a little bit. Gonna keep the curves on, but we're not quite close enough into 1. Let's see if I can maybe get the exit here. Gonna take a bit of a wider line. Just losing a little bit there on traction. Losing a lot of the cutters to see if I can have a run, but I don't think we've got enough. Wide line again, gonna try and tuck back in. Nah. Those are usually the moves that go on, you know, regular modern cars, but we can't pull them off with this one, so we're gonna have to try elsewhere. I think the final corner is where we're strongest. So we'll set Button up, try and get a bit of a wider line so we get a better exit. A little short shift on the way through. Not quite close enough though. Button holds on. Yeah, no way through just yet. I think I can send it on the brakes here, you know. I'm a little bit far back though, to be fair, compared to last lap. Button actually pressuring Kubica here. I'm going to try again. There we go. This time we get the exit. Using all the curves, but Button's got some pretty good straight line speed. I'm going to go for it though. On the brakes, down the inside. And there it is. We re-overtake JB. And we're now on to Kubica. Which shouldn't take too long, and then we can drive into some clean air and catch up to Raikkonen, who's next after that. But yeah, I feel like I'm pretty decent now in these conditions. I'm starting to get the hammer down, and I think we may be as fast, if not maybe a bit quicker, than the Toyotas. So this is encouraging right now. Let's see if I can try and get Kubica here and clear him as soon as possible. Good exit. Kubica has a poor one.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
On the outside. Nice move. What's this?
Confirmed.
So, lap 16, pit for another set of wets, which is what I've hoped for. I'll try and stretch this one as long as I can, this stint. I'll take the pain now, so we'll push it into puncture territory if necessary to maintain that 1 stop. Ooh, whoa. Good save. I was pushing that. Starting to close in on Raikkonen and Sebastian Vettel, but a bit of a mistake as the tyre indicator now pops up after that, so we're on 60%. This is going to be a stretch one stop, you know that. Very, very marginal one stop. I reckon we're going to make it on tyres. We're about 5% per lap, so we can pit at the end of the next lap. Hopefully we'll just enter the puncture territory where we can box. It just means we'll have to stretch the next stint out a bit longer, but I've got the method in terms of how to preserve the tyres, so hopefully I won't burn up as quick in the initial phase, and that should give us the longevity we need to make it to the end. Hoi. That is not ideal for the tyres. Luckily we are going to box. I could try and extend, but then we're just risking a puncture. The reality is we've made it this far, and I've managed to get the stint done with super worn rubber, so I'm happy with that. So we'll box and essentially undercut Raikkonen and Vettel here. So this is also massive for our race, so keep it within the white lines. Into the pits we go. There might be an inters phase right at the end, so pitting earlier isn't terrible news. In we go. So, as you can see, 79 on the right rear. Definitely stressed the wets out quite a bit. Fun race though, really good pace in terms of it's really close between all of us, so the difficulty level is spot on. 2.2, and away we go. Right, we're racing up at exit, but these cars are just going to be ahead of us. I'm trying to be smooth on the rears. So P13 will rejoin. Right, let's get to work. Let's try and be a bit more gentle with this tyre, with what we learned in the first stint. And let's try and make some progress. Let's see if we can pass a few of these cars. They're not ideal for us. You know, obviously I wanted to get clear track on this fresh tyre to make an undercut work, but we'll give it a shot. Heidfeld's keeping his nose in, so we're going to have to leave some room. But we'll get it on the brakes. Right, let's see now if we can try and get Rosberg here. Using a fair bit of KERS, so Heidfeld does not re-challenge. Thought we're going to be inside of Rosberg there, but we'll just wait for the exit. Use a fresh tyre and the grip to make the difference. KERS out, but we've got enough of a run here to just clear this on the inside. Brake safe, don't run to the back of Sutil. Cars should be in this lap. As I say that, one of the Toyota's pits. So we'll see if any of these guys pit. Got a big run on Sutil here, so we're going to go straight down the inside. And Nakajima should pit, as he is the lead Williams. No, he stays out, so Rosberg will pit. Either way. We're flying, so I've got to try and get through. Cars in the pit, so we're going to be racing here. Lovely exit, and there we go. Right, let's see what we're looking at here as we head down to turn 1. There is Raikkonen. And Seb just ahead. We're going to be neck and neck with Kimi here. So we're going to tuck into the slipstream. We're going to try and have a look. On the brakes around the outside, Kimi's on cold tyres. So we'll get that one done. So undercut work to some extent. And let's try and get after Sebastian Vettel. Barrichello also not too far ahead. Right. Fastest lap, Massa in the pits. So that gives us another place. Let's get after Sebastian. Also, tyre where you can see a lot more balance. Last time it was like 4 and 12. So we're doing a lot better this time. Still going to have to manage them to the end. But the weather could change. So let's just keep doing our thing. There we go then. Now the tyre's starting to work. Truly just went quickest and we took the lap away, so we are the fastest car on track right now. Here we go, closing in now massively through here on Seb. Lovely final corner, traction down perfectly. We're going to go to the outside here, use a little bit of KERS. Can we get it on the brakes? Going to brake super late, around the outside we go. Pinching Seb into the apex. Thus, he doesn't get the run on the exit and we can lock in. So P4, Barrichello just up the road. And in a weekend where the Toyotas have been in the class of their own, we can probably nick a podium here and do some decent damage limitation in this race. Let's get after it. So now the engine wear icon has popped up. I'm trying to burn through some of the fuel to make the car a bit lighter. And I'm willing to go a little bit into the negative here. We are catching Rubens slowly but surely. Also tyre wear is very, very balanced. We're still going to struggle to make it, but at least this time we've done a much better job of managing the rear tyres. Still a long way to go though. Now we're starting to pressure Barrichello here and knock on the door and ask questions. I wonder if we might even get a chance here. Lovely final corner with a bit of a drift. We'll get the exit, but not quite close enough. Barrichello holding a decent pace. We're driving quicker than the Toyotas right now, and that goes to Barrichello as well. We're dropping Seb and Raikkonen by quite a lot, so Barrichello's really upping his pace right now. Just got to try and find a way through. At the minute he's holding on pretty well. This might be our first genuine chance to get through. Unlike on the last lap, this time we are a lot closer. Good exit. We've got a bit of curves to drain as well. Trying to put Barrichello under pressure. Inside and out. We force him offline. We get given space on the outside. We lose out in the traction battle. Bit of contact on the way through as we both kind of fight for the middle of the racetrack. Barrichello goes through. I'm in way too narrow here. We're going to have to try and pull it back, but we got that horribly wrong, so we'll have to try again, and we're going to lose out quite a bit of time here. Not ideal there, not the best bit of racecraft. Wasn't able to open up the line into turn 3 and get the inside lockdown. I think the track's starting to dry out. On the last lap I went purple in sector 3, and now we're absolutely flying again. I wonder if we're going to see this race out on wets, or would it be a late...
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
A late switch on to inters.
Got that confirmed.
Wow. Okay. Right. Everyone behind spin. So, let's see how this pans out. We're not going to have any tyre trouble then. We're going to be able to switch tyres. Well then, let's switch to inters. Barrichello does pit. I'm assuming the front two have as well. So, this is it. This is going to decide the race then. Let's see what the pace is like on the inters. Getting all crossed up on pit entry here as we try to stay close to Barrichello. Good pit entry there. And now it's a battle of the pit crews. It's going to be a clean stop for both. Both Toyotas, I think, have stayed out. Really interesting on the wets. Okay. I think we've got Barrichello. Yes, we have. Slow stop for Rubens. Braun dropped the ball, and we are through into net P3. Sebastian Vettel also is opting to stay out, so Red Bull are not putting him in. Barrichello on the hunt, trying to get that place back straight away. Down to turn 3, or up to turn 3 more like. Side by side with Rubinho. We're going to win the first part of the traction battle. Now it's a straight line speed battle as we use all of our curves. Down to turn 4. Going to match him on the brakes and take the inside. And we're through. Job done. Although Barrichello still fighting. We're going to hold the inside line again here and just stay strong. And not let Barrichello go through. Raikkonen's almost pulled off a massive undercut. He's right behind Barrichello here. But we've got it. Crucially, Toyotas and Seb are still staying out. So they're going to try and go to the end. That's really interesting. We are so quick right now. This is way quicker. Have the Toyotas maybe made a mistake? I think we can catch them, at this pace. We're absolutely flying. Well, I'll say that. We're under pressure here from Barrichello and Raikkonen right now. I can't really shake them off. Here comes Rubens. Raikkonen not too far behind. There's a little bit of curves. Barrichello to the outside. Going to hold the inside line. Take a big chunk of curb. And go through. Let's try and pull away if we can. So, 4 seconds a lap quicker than my previous pace. I don't know if we're going to catch the Toyotas now, to be fair, with that in mind, but we're definitely going to catch Seb, who is trying to stay out. And here we go, we've arrived onto Seb for the second time. He's trying to brave it out on the wets, but it's not going to work. The track's getting quicker and quicker every lap. I think the Toyotas are just going to get away with it. So let's just try and clear Seb and lock up this podium position, which is still going to be great for us. Here we go. Good exit using the curves. And we clear Seb. He's going to probably still keep his nose in, but we'll get it on the brakes. And just like that, P3's ours. Let's try and get the extra point for the fast lap as well. Yeah, the Toyota boys are very lucky. We're now really making inroads. Last lap. Let's bring it home. Barrichello's still there, but we've got it under control. But yeah, Toyota are just going to hold on to this. We are absolutely flying now. Yellow flag up ahead. The rest is in the pits.
Luca is in the pits. Luca in the pits.
Truly wins. I don't think the Toyotas got caught up, but look how close we got. Almost got them, man.
Smiling faces on the pit wall after a superb win here in Spielberg, and rightly so, a brilliant effort from the whole team. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, keeping their tyre temperatures up in the tricky wet conditions was really important. There's not much grip out there at the best of times, and it's 10 times worse if you're out there on cold tyres. So the way they kept the rubber in its proper operating window was a huge advantage today.
There aren't many teams, you know, as they come out onto the podium now, who could do what Haas have managed to accomplish here. It's hard to believe just how competitive they've already become. An amazing victory.
Right, job done then in the end, and to be fair, that was a really fun race. I think that might be one of the races of the season. I don't think it was super spectacular or amazing, but I really enjoyed the kind of lap by lap, you know, like we're shaving off tenths here and there, just gradually working our way through and having to work for it every single lap. It wasn't, you know, a complete walkover or a cruise or very easy, but in the end it was very quick, and we had the best pace, especially on the full wets. I think we just struggled too much in the initial stage to kind of get used to the car and adapt to the conditions. So yeah, it is what it is, but really good race, really enjoyed it, and for a wet race that was a lot of fun. There's the top 3 and also the rest of the top 10. Toyota with a huge points haul, which if we look at the standings, we are equal on points with the Arno Trulli, who takes the lead on count back for more race wins. Glock 19 points further back, Barrichello P4. In the constructors, we're 3rd and only 7 points behind Brawn, but realistically Toyota are looking ominous and very strong and favourites for the constructors title. So yeah, it is what it is. Still though, fun race, and this is now officially halfway through the season, guys, so 8 races remain. We'll see what happens. Like the video, subscribe for more daily F1 content on my channel, guys, as always, and more career mode content. As always, a big shout out to the members for supporting the channel. Check out the 2 videos on screen, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, and that's goodbye from me.